Hello, hello. Can you guys hear me? Welcome to another week in paradise. I feel like I'm in paradise, but we're all in paradise because we're giving the chance to live. Every day is a gift. That's how I look at it. Every single day is a gift. Sorry. Where was I? Sorry, I don't know if this tripod is stable. Let me just check. Thank you for joining. We'll give everybody just a few minutes. And I was just saying how every day is a gift. And you know, when you wake up every day, the right state of mind is like, I woke up. Thank you. You know, I think I read a stat that 1 million people every day don't wake up, or I don't know if it was 100,000. They just die in their sleep. So I was like, wow. Welcome, welcome. Can anyone confirm that they can hear me really well? I'm always freaked out about technology because I feel like many times I can't control that. You know, talking about reality bending and reality control, but I don't know if technology is like something that for me it's like a hit or miss. Thanks for joining. All right, so this is a live about mindsets, reality bending, how to tune into the formless substance. Really, this is what our group is about, and to make changes in your world using your intention, your will, not your wants, not your desires, but your actual intention and your will, and projecting that out there with the harm of none and good for all, for the best circumstance that you cannot yet contemplate. So this is a key point in manifestation, right? You don't know the how. If you know the how, you're not manifesting it. You're doing it from 3D. If I know the how, I'm going to get to, I don't know, a job that's 150,000, and that's by doing 2 years internship here and doing 2 more years here, and then jumping by $10,000 or $20,000 in my career, and over the next 5 years I get there. That's not manifesting it. That's not allowing the universe to create a situation under which you would be surprised with how it came to pass. If you're not surprised with how it came to pass, it's not done from 5D. And it's okay to do anything in 3D. It's not a problem. Like I say in many of my lives, everybody knows how to make $1 million, right? If you don't know, you go on YouTube, you educate yourself about investment, about stock, about day trading, about real estate investment, about flipping. And between now and 20 years from now, you will have that $1 million, okay? We all would, right? It's just that people don't want to wait that long. That's the whole point of it. Any chance I can talk about the bridge of incidents? You have to be more specific. Are you talking about the delay in manifestation? So from the time you set an intention, I've done a video on this. Please, guys, if you don't know me, go through my content. I think you will find it very useful. This is really like level 2.0 or higher. It's not just the law of assumption. I don't do any of that stuff. I try the law of assumption. It does work with unexpected results. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about it. With the results that sometimes it's not what you meant. Okay, so it's not necessarily positive, but switching your mind and creating an intention by letting go. So if you're talking about bridge of incidents, the delay, the way the delay works is you set an intention and you don't set it again. That's why in my 60-day challenge, the goals are set at the top and kind of like then forgotten about. And all the work is not around those goals during the 60 days. And you're surprised at some point because you even want to change your goals. You're like, those goals don't really match me based on this work that I'm doing. You know, I get a lot of it. There's a lot of that in our group. And so once you set the goal, the intention, let it go. And your work is keeping your focus and changing your triggers. If you react to the same triggers, then nothing will change. If every day is the same as yesterday and you just set an intention and you wrote something down on a piece of paper and you're like, oh yeah, manifestation didn't work for me. Of course it didn't work for you. And it's never gonna work for you because you are the same person every single day. And the same person attracts more of the past, more of the same results, congruent results with what has already happened. So this is why nothing is changing, you know? If you've been in rejection energy for the last 10 years and you come to this work and you just write, down, my goal is to be married by the end of the year with a guy who adores me, it's not that simple. But in the delay, you just talk to your friends about how men suck, how dating life sucks, dating apps are a mess, men don't want to commit to hookup culture. Then it's not going to work, right? Because your trigger has to be different. You have to have a different point of vibration every day. While everything is going to shit. Oh, okay. So you want to talk about, Lenny, here's the thing. You cannot build a new house on old foundations. Depends what type of house you have now. If you have a shack, you need to uproot that whole foundation before you can build a beautiful house. And if you're intentional strong enough, your beautiful house will come. But that's what changing every single thing in your life. That's what demolishing all the foundations that you've set before. And so the people who like you now, the job you have now, what vibrates with you now, it's all going to crumble. It has to, right? In order to build a new you. You cannot expect your life to stay the same and then just add $1 million on top or $10 million on top. I mean, I guess lottery winners do that, but then, they lose it all, because what's important to them is keeping the same structure in their lives, keeping the same friendships, keeping the same people, keeping the same routine of negative attitude about money. And that's a paradigm, even though they're happy about their win. So you cannot build something beautiful. You may be able to attract it temporarily, but then you're losing it. Vivian says, I lost my job and friends, but I feel such peace. Everything is aligning. Yeah, every time I went to the next step in my life, something crumbled. A job crumbled, like my whole career crumbled in 2015. And then I had a wonderful, very, very successful business. And my business partnership also crumbled a couple of years ago. And they've both been times where I thought, oh my God, what am I going to do? What's happening? Why is this happening? But it all had to happen. And if you can see your process in retrospect, if you can look back at your life and be like, oh yeah, this is what happened, but then it took me to this other step, or this is the breakup that I had, but then it took me to this other step in my life. I don't know if you guys can hear, is a guy cutting his grass or something. It's just very annoying, but I can't do anything about it. You see, this is how you gotta ignore 3D. So hopefully he will finish soon. All right, where was I? What if it could be your marriage crumbling? That's scary. Yeah, so relationships can only go two ways once you do this work. One way is for the other person to change to match the person that you are now, that you're changing into, and the other one is for it to end. There's really no other way whatsoever. God, this guy's really loud. Let's manifest them away, okay? I want to take up certain things now. Let's get into the material. I take up questions throughout my life, but I also have the material that I want to talk about. Okay. Let's see. Last week we had an image to manifest, and it was an image of a surfboard. I give my group manifestation challenges. You can participate in this even if you're not in my group. So I give them manifestation challenges. And this year we switched to images. So last week's image was a surfboard and like two people on blades. It was actually me from the back surfing. And I say, manifest whatever you think this represents to you. And so we had quite a few in our group manifesting, but not enough. I didn't feel like that was enough. So this week's challenge, and this again will be posted on my Facebook group. Between now and next Monday, I want you to manifest whatever is representative to you in this image. I don't provide commentary because I want you to test your imagination and test. And if you don't have the results that you think that this picture means, if you have some results, but it's not what you meant, then no, this is your work that you have to do to streamline your manifestation. process, your mindset. So let me know how you do. I'll put this image in our Facebook group for everybody to sort of don't think too much about it, okay? Just absorb this image and be like, may this come to pass in my life. I intend that this would come to pass in my life between now and next Monday in the way that is most beneficial to me. And let's see what happens. Affirming peace, quiet, and serenity permeate this life. Thank you, Carla. Thank you so much. Let's see. Okay, no questions on that, on the manifestation. Yeah, you guys done pretty well with the surfboard. So one of the stories was with the surfboard was this queen went on a date, and it was a first date. She didn't know the guy very well, so they went to this restaurant that he picked, and where they got seated, when she was looking at the wall right towards him, there was the same exact photo that I said last week, manifest this. It was the exact same photo. So she took a photo and she told them, I'm gonna need to take a photo of this painting. And she took a photo and she posted it in the Facebook group. I said, yeah, that's how it works. Whatever you observe, intentionally wanting to manifest more of will come if you don't have that massive resistance. And with these things, we don't have resistance, right? Because if they come or don't come, it doesn't matter. That's what it means. You're okay with any outcome. You see it, you intend to manifest it, and then you kind of let it go. You let go in that idea that it's not really important. And if you could only do that with the things that are important, more of the important things would manifest. Thank you so much. Okay, I've just done a video on money and everybody should watch. It's about how money converted from an actual thing back to energy. It was always energy. Now it's back to energy. At some point it was gold and paper, and that was physical, and we needed this physical thing to attract this physical thing. Now you just need to attract the energy of money, because it's all just like a computer. It's in the ether. It's not real. It's just change it in your bank account, in your mind, in your imagination. And if you have a vision board, don't put pictures of actual money in your vision board. Just put the picture of the bank balance. Unless you're a teller, then this is pointless. This exercise is pointless. Let's see if I missed anything. So that was that. Guys, you live most of your life inside your head. Remember that also. It's good as a point of awareness to remember that we live most of our lives inside our head. So it better be a good place to live. It better be. Just bring yourself to the point where you understand that each moment is only lived the way you lived it by you. The person next to you doesn't live it the same way. A sunset is not lived the same way by you versus by somebody else who's lost in their mind, who's lost in their head, or maybe you're the one who's lost in your head, or worrying about the future, not noticing. The more you bring your awareness, you all know this, right? All spiritual teachers teach you this. The more you bring your awareness into the now, the more you're able to tune into the energy, because only the now exists, right? The past and the future, they're energetic. They're stored somewhere. The future is stored just as much as the past is stored. It's just which one you will access. That's the question. Okay, I want to read now what I do during this live. I take some questions, and people send me questions throughout the week. And if I feel like it would benefit the group, I go ahead and read it for everyone. So here's, let me just pull it up on my other phone. Here's what came last week. Carla, thank you for manifesting that noise away. It seems to be gone. All right. So I did a video on how you should never, actually I talk about this a lot, you should never be attached to a certain specific person in terms of an outcome. So when you're manifesting an SP, really what you want is the outcome that you think that SP would provide for you, right? It would provide you with a family, would provide you with a loving relationship, would provide you with whatever it is you derive out of that relationship. So, but I say always wish for this or better, this or better, this or better, right? Like it's never like this specific guy. So she's saying, Hi, I've been watching your videos. I like how clear you are. However, it seems like you advise not to manifest the SP because you say the SP or better. And then she's saying, what if my SP is my husband and I'm trying to restore my marriage? Isn't manifestation about creating what you want? Otherwise, why bother? So here's the thing. Manifesting is about creating what you want. Otherwise, why bother? You don't have to bother. You can just let life run its course and have this understanding that your consciousness and what you want is just as important as your husband's consciousness and what he wants in his life. And for the people who are able to manifest their SPs back, and now because we have so many stories, the majority of those people manifest them back obsessed, but it doesn't last. It's temporary. It is temporary for many reasons, but it's temporary because my interpretation is we do not have the right to entrap another person's consciousness with our intention, right? Our intention has to be only about the outcome that we require. So you want to get back with your husband because you think, he will provide you with a certain outcome, with a life together, with keeping your home, with being loving to your children, with whatever it is you derive out of your relationship with your husband. But that outcome may be able to be achieved in a different way with a different person that contributes much more to your evolution. And when we come into this game of life, the intention of us coming is to evolve. Otherwise, there's no point. You can struggle a lot against evolving. And a lot of people do that, unfortunately. And for those people, the lessons are very painful because the universe would not exert this much energy on keeping us here if we're not returning to it an enriched consciousness level. I told you this is kind of like 2.0 of manifestation, but that is sort of the point of the game. Consciousness evolves through love and pain. And you have two options in the game, okay? You have the option of learning the lessons quickly. So when something's not working, to understand and sort of say to yourself, okay, it's not working. Something else is meant for me. I'm going to intend something better. I've learned a lesson. I accept, I internalize, I learned a lesson, and I am open to better because I want to be better. Because I guess I wasn't contributing enough, or I'm not talking contributing like doing the laundry. Like I didn't return in, but I now intend to return into consciousness, an enriched level of consciousness. And I hold this deep love for my husband, let's say she wants to say, but I want him to have whatever it is he wants, because that's what love is. Love is, if you're actually able to raise your consciousness, love is wanting the other person to have whatever the hell they want to have. Now, in this process, it's very likely, because you've shifted now your point, it's very likely he will come back and want you. Very, very likely. But only because you sincerely want him to have whatever it is you want. So when your husband doesn't want you anymore and you're in this struggle of, I want to keep my marriage, I'm manifesting him, you might have some back and forth where he comes back and like, I'm seeing results, he leaves again, I'm manifesting him again, I'm writing down, so your whole energetic system is trapped in this loop of entrapping, of trying to entrap another person's consciousness. So your consciousness is not evolving at all. It's not you not allowing for the next experience that you have. And it's your free will to not allow for that. But just know that more painful experiences will occur in order to break you out of that loop. And a lot of people say everything falls apart. This is when everything falls apart. He left me, and then I lost my job, and then because you're not accepting the first change to begin with. You're not accepting this bridge of incidents. You're not accepting that your outcome may not be aligned with his life path. And you really, what you want to do is you want to take something away from him. Now remember, the universe doesn't care, like I'm talking high level, right? So the universe doesn't care about your marriage certificate. Oh, but marriage, you got to work on our marriage. I'm not saying socially you should work on your marriage. From a consciousness perspective, marriage is a human invention, right? Like I value marriage a lot, as you guys know. I'm getting remarried now. Unfortunately, my first marriage didn't work out. I'm getting remarried in July. I treasure the institution of marriage. I'm committed to it. But I also understand, like I understood with my first husband, he wants different things. There's just, I have to accept that. And it doesn't mean I'm not going to get what I want, but it's very likely I'm not going to get what I want out of him. And that's okay. Something better will come along, and something better did. You know what I'm saying? All right. Let's see if there's any comments on that. Manifest the amount of money. You know, I'm gonna tell you something. Tell us how to literally manifest money and how to manifest a specific amount of money. The sense of entitlement in this question is not beneficial to you. Okay, because I'm very clear on the money or anything you're trying to manifest. You have to learn to do this process right. That's what I do with my group. You have to understand that your mind is the energetic system that surrounds your body. And unless you tune into this energetic system and you live from it, you're not going to be able to create any lasting changes. So for me to say, hey, whatever your name is, sit there, write down three times, 6 times, 9 times, and write this and write that, and you have to do that for 30 days and then you'll get it. It's not that. Are you watching all your triggers? Have you reprogrammed your paradigm? Have you searched inside your mind what you observed about the money when you were growing up? How your grandfather handled money, how your father handled money, what they tell you in school about money, what it takes to make money? Have you sat with yourself and done a whole journal on your beliefs and on your, it's easy to come on a live and be like, tell me how to make money. It doesn't work that way, okay? You can try to make it work that way. And then when you give up, you're gonna understand that you have to do the work in unprogramming the world out of your paradigm. Mona, I just saw this TikTok that spoke about modern day manifestation and how it's all a facade. A facade for what? I don't understand what you're talking about. Let's see. So when I'm visualizing me and my husband, do I not visualize his face or what is best? Listen, if you're married, you definitely want to see yourself in a loving interaction and focus on an image of you and your husband doing things together. The face thing, I suggested for people who have SPs, who are not in contact with their SPs, and I was like, just imagine this faceless thing that you have together. When you're imagining yourself with your husband, the best thing to say is like, if this is our life path together, I want that will grow us and bring us happiness. I want, show me the next step that I can do to contribute to my marriage. And once you feel like you've contributed all that you can contribute, and if it's still not working, you gotta understand, you gotta look at the universe and be like, I want to go to the next level and I want him to go to the next level. What is right for us? And you'll just see things will just unfold. They will just simply unfold that, you'll discover something, or I don't want to give scenarios in regards to marriage, but somehow there'll be prompts and inspired action and something will happen, and it will either bring you closer or it's going to fall apart if it was never your life path. Now, you don't have to do any of these things. You can take a step back and let destiny play out. Your life is playing out on a script, you understand? It's playing out because we don't have enough imagination to imagine every single next moment. So somebody else has to fill in those details, right? A higher intelligence has to fill in those details, whether you think it's pre-programmed by God or God directly every single moment, the universe, whatever you want to think about. But just know that all the details, when you're not in awareness, all the details are being filled by somebody else on what unfolds in the next moment. And manifestation is all tuning into this and just saying, oh, I can take over in this small area. I don't know how exactly to do this, but this is what I intend to do. And remember, your free will is your biggest gift from God, because if he wanted us to be robots, we would just be executing his will every single day, right? That's what angels do, right? You guys know that if you're religious, angels have no choice but to execute the will of God. They don't have free will. So maybe that's why they're more perfect beings. How could it be perfect if we have our own free will to choose? All right, that's a completely different conversation. Let's see what we got here. Your content helped me so much, and now SP broke up with his third party. Yeah, don't even put it aside. Anna, put it aside and just remember that the changes that you see now are small. You stay focused not on his breakup, not on any of that, but your happiness. So if your SP comes back to you, Anna, and he says to you, I broke up, I want to be with you and stuff. If you want to take him back, that's fine. But here's what you got to be. You got to be assessing every single day if this new him meets your needs. And you got to be prepared that if he's not, or if he's not returning to you, do not be in that point of fear. Oh, if I don't accept this, he'll go again and find somebody else. You got to be done with him, right? Because the person you were when you started to manifest him is different than the person you are today, or it should be, right? You should have evolved via this work. And so if you want to take him back, but be careful with what you accept, because what you accept from another person is telling your subconscious what you're worth. Only you define your worth, but you define your worth through the actions that you take. You define your worth via the actions you're willing to accept from others as well. Those are instructions you give to the universe. Pooja says, Mona, the singles events is this Saturday. I remember when we talked. How do I manifest that I'll meet the right guy at the event? Remember what I made you promise me? I made you promise me that if when you walk in, you feel any kind of bad, you're gonna walk right out. Okay, it's very important you don't put up with triggers when you're really manifesting love. So, the singles event, you go in there and it's gotta feel good. Assess it with no fear, okay? And when you walk into any singles event, anybody, do not have this expectation that I need to do this work in here in this room to meet my husband, right? Just be like, I intend that I will be the highest version of myself to attract somebody in this room, and that's the highest version that would match me. But if there's nobody in this room that would match me, if there's nobody that evolved, if there's nobody here, then, I ask the universe that my energy is protected, that I don't internalize any rejection, that I don't take on any, because the singles event with men and women, I don't take on any jealous looks from other women, that I don't, I intend here, I stay focused, I bless all the other women who are in this room, I want them to find somebody too. And I hope my match is here, I intend, but if he's not, then, I will continue to take all the inspired action to meet this man, because I know he is here in my energy field, in my reality, and I know I shall be married. That's what we're staying focused on, Pooja. Did you put your face on a body with a wedding dress? I want you to do that and put it on your mirror. Not just a woman in a wedding dress, but you specifically. Alone. You can be alone, because, if you're in a wedding dress, that means you have somebody. Let's see. I'm staying focused, only will accept what I deserve and want. Beautiful. How do I manifest a new relationship? By staying focused on what the purpose of this new relationship is in your life. So all your scripting, all your affirmations will never be about the man, but it will be about the outcome you want in your life. What is the outcome? What is, when you ask people that, they don't even understand the question. They're like, well, I mean, I want a good man. I want a relationship. I want a good man. What is the value out of this relationship that you don't have right now that this relationship will return? You should be able to journal 1 page around this topic. You're very welcome, French toast. Guys, everywhere you can help, you should help. And I find that I say this a lot in my group. I've helped a lot of people in my life, not just with theories and things like this and walking them through life, but very specifically, to get jobs or to get to the next level somehow. The return is never from the same people. trust that the universe, when you contribute, will give you a matching, or way more than matching in my case, contribution. It's never going to come from this. So always have this attitude, I'm going to help. Don't be like, oh, but this person is not going to be able to help me back or do anything for me. So why would I do this content? Why would I, in Canada, I don't even get paid for my TikTok or anything like that. Why would I do this? No, you do this because somehow that's the trust and the faith of faith. You will be rewarded in all areas of life. Let's see. How do I know if a person I'm meeting first time is for me? You don't. What do you mean? Of course you don't know. You will know if they're not for you. Okay? If you get the ick. If you're very defined in what you're expecting a relationship will return to you, like we talked about. Okay, so if I go on a date and the guy says, this happened to me, picks me up and says, where do you want to go? It's not for me, because that's a passive person. It's a person that will show up, will do minimum, hasn't planned anything for us, will not be able to lead me in life. I don't need one extra person to lead in life, even if he contributes financially, it doesn't matter. And it's not for me, for my interaction as a woman, right? So, but that's because I know what I'm looking for. Like I really, really know. Not just like, oh, I guess I'll go out there and see how this feels. No, not like that. You gotta know, right? So if a guy shows up for the first time and he's okay, but he says, so what are we gonna do? Let me know. Doesn't open the car door, doesn't like seem to know what's going on, talks about himself, how depressed he was, but he seemed to like, he used to be sick and he's depressed and doesn't care about you, doesn't ask you about your kids if you have any, doesn't, do you know all these things? Do you know what you're looking for specifically? Because only with that vision can you meet him. Otherwise, you'll just meet all this random, remember, the universe is filling in the blanks because it has to offer you life experience. So it's just going to throw out there all sorts of random dudes. Pooja, I can't wait for your update, okay, Queen? Everyone gives me the ick. Lisa, you're the best. Oh my God, stop saying that. That's like when I was saying, oh yeah, divorced men don't want to commit anymore because they've been divorced and they've been cleaned out. With that attitude, I kept meeting all these divorced men who didn't want to commit, And then I was like, oh, it's because I'm saying that. Then I changed the story and like, they're all ready to commit. Is this life just for relationships because I have a block with manifesting money? Go to my account right now. I just posted a new video on money. I have a money playlist manifestation. I kind of talk about what comes in. I like to do this lives. People send me emails on what they want. And I have a lot of content. It's not, a lot of people with money issues are looking for a magical mantra that will bring them a large sum of money, or at least a sum of money that can sustain them. And it doesn't work that way. If anybody tells you it works that way, listen, even if you manifest $10,000, once you go through it, you're back to where you started, right? Now you're in a panic again. So your whole life is this panic. You don't know if you can make it happen again. So when you live your life from that perspective, that you need a spell to keep a man, that you need to do this mantra to get the money, and you're not, it's really bad in my opinion. And it's actually worse if it works one time and then it never works again. It's actually worse. Let's see. Okay, you're clear. I love that on the guy. If we miss a couple of days on the spreadsheet, you know my opinion on that already, Lisa. You know my opinion. I don't want you guys to miss days when you're doing the spreadsheet. Okay, so we talked about this. Now I want to talk about 2 emails that came in, and then I'll take more of your questions. So one is from a queen who's doing the challenge with us, and she's manifested some really cool stuff. But now, let's see, she's really leveled up. She's kind of like a little bit like a celebrity, okay? So, like she speaks on stages and stuff. So she says, The wildest and funniest and most profound things happened in the last 3 to 4 weeks since I sent you my last updates on intention. This work is powerful, and thank you for your container that, She says, I had the intention to become the top rank for this production company I can't mention. And when I went to speak at the event, turns out it was at a stadium in front of 3,000 people, and they started calling me by the title that she wanted to have, the top rank on the big screen. So they made a mistake under her name, and she's including a picture of herself on the stage with the name that she was manifesting, that her name plus the position she was manifesting. They made a mistake. So she was focusing on this position and writing, I am XYZ. And so on a big screen, when she gets on screen, they make this mistake and label her as such. And I find this like typical law of assumption blunder. When I use the law of assumption, my most famous law of assumption example is I wanted to be married again. And I was like, okay, I listened to Neville, and he said, well, if you want to be married, just envision your wedding band on your finger in very detail on how you want it. Because if you envision that, then that means you already found somebody and you already married them and they meet your expectations. So I did that because I knew exactly what kind of band I wanted. And then the next day I found that band in the parking lot. It was like a Tiffany three side studded diamonds band. I have a video on it. And I find that, to me, after that, I was like, okay, when you don't focus on the actual outcome, on how you feel every day and how you want your life to be every day, if you're focusing on these very specific things, the universe will find just the easiest way to deliver it to you if you have enough power in your intention. So this queen manifesting this specific title, she got the title displayed in front of 3,000 people, but it's not her actual title. So number 2, she says, I have had a focus on my body with extra body affirmations, and I did an additional hypnosis meditation one time. And I remember I leave food on my plate, I don't eat sugar, I can't stand dairy or red meat, etc. And then she says, I immediately got the flu, followed by extreme food poisoning after eating, and after 3 weeks, I had very little appetite, no desire for food at all. All I choose to eat is primary fish and fruit. So this will happen when you say, again, the universe, when you're using this law of assumption, when you're not doing the change, based on how you want your body to look, or I'll do a video on the body. It will happen via the easiest way that the universe will make it happen. If you're already tuned into the energetic field and your intention is pretty strong. There's another queen in our group who couldn't eat anything at all. And then she had to have an emergency gallbladder surgery. Apparently something like, it was almost ready to burst. But she lost 40 pounds because she said, I'll lose 40 pounds by the summer. And within 4 months, she lost 40 pounds because of her issue, the gallbladder issue that came out of nowhere. And then she says, her third manifestation since her last update, I was gifted a spontaneous trip to Hawaii for a week to recover from my illness and to have the chance to rest and recover. Well, that's a positive one. I don't know what it is, but is anybody here from my group? I know Lisa is, and like Pooja and like a few other people. But it's like we have one manifestation after another of queens manifesting these very expensive trips. And I don't know if it's because I so envisioned, my trip, and, my intention was like, I'm out of Canada for the winter, and I'm in a place. And now everyone's manifesting these trips. So, yeah, they just come out of nowhere. Everyone's away, everyone unexpectedly away. So, I just continue to wish well on everybody. The group energy is very powerful in our group. And the intentions that we set are very powerful, and they spill, right? They spill onto each other, the good ones, because, I don't let any of the bad ones, as you can see, there's no bad ones. But the good ones, because our group is based on affirming for others, it just works. It just, when somebody gets a win, that's why I told you, when you observe somebody's win and you focus on their win and you're happy for that win as if you were for yourself, then you're very likely to get the same thing or a similar thing that matches your life. So Lisa says, yes, reading the trips really helped me when I was having anxiety, reading them for my focus. Paulina says, I just started and I totally feel everyone in the group. Yeah, that will happen. Our group has really gone to the next level. Came like maybe November, December, I felt a huge shift. Manifesting an amazing fun trip for your 33rd birthday. It's coming. Just stay in the energy of the group. Just observe and be happy for everybody who's manifesting. So I was done with the Queen's email. Pay attention to the lesson there, as in the universe will find the easiest way to manifest it and not necessarily what you meant. What you do in those cases, you clarify. You don't accept that as the result of your manifestation. You keep clarifying. You keep giving instructions. No, you haven't. That's not what I meant. You haven't executed on this. Tell me how to instruct you better. Like, let me clarify the way I think I should clarify. But let me imagine a different scenario. So for example, she wanted the new title. Instead of seeing her name with the new title, which is what she ended up manifesting, she should have maybe seen people congratulating her, throwing her a little party, her friends, oh, let's celebrate your promotion, let's celebrate your new title. Get it? That's a different envisioning on how the new title may come. Pooja tried manifesting flowers for my birthday and 3 people sent me flowers. Does that count? Well, obviously. You're manifesting flowers for your birthday. I once manifested flowers just for fun. You know, I was just getting into this work. And I was just like, okay, I'm going to manifest a bouquet of flowers. I was single. And I was like, I'm manifesting, not dating. I'm manifesting a bouquet of flowers. I got a bouquet of flowers the following week on my doorstep. It was for my neighbor, incorrectly delivered. I can't make this stuff up. Like, it's just too much. And I was like, you know, I'm pulling into the driveway and I see this bouquet of flowers. And I was like, come on, come on. And then I look at him like, okay. I kept them though. So bad. I wouldn't now, but I wasn't at the same consciousness level back then. I just took them in the house and I was like, I accept. Right, let's see. Let's see if I missed anything. If we start the 60-day challenge over, do we send you your life and images again? Yeah, if you want to clarify, I don't mind agreeing with everyone's vision board. I also tell you if what it reads like. I'm not going to read your spreadsheet unless you want to work with me to specifically fine-tune your manifestation, and then I'll review your spreadsheet. But if you send me your life and images, I will give you my agreement. And the idea of this agreement is when 2 or more people agree on the same thing, it's much more likely to come to pass. Right? And it should be a person who doesn't have an invested interest in your life. Like your mom might look at the images and be like, oh, but that's not, you know, I'm scared, you know, like your friends. It should really be just somebody that's not really attached to your outcome in terms of their own lives. Let's see. Yeah, Lisa, try the flowers. And you've just joined the dating app. Tell you guys, you cannot. I think that's the way to go. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think people meet any other way unless it's like really serendipitous. I believe in dating apps if you use them correctly. If you use them, and I talk a lot about this, you know. Yeah, I'm gonna do more videos on this because a lot of people need help. You don't need to be damaged by the interaction of your online dating. If you take a different mental approach to it and like physical on how you let events unfold. You should never attach yourself emotionally to a person you never met in person. So you should never back and forth correspond and have funny banter with anybody. You know, it's like, I like your profile, you like my profile. Let's go for a coffee. It's okay for you as a woman to initiate this. I always did. I'm like, let's meet for a coffee. Here's where I can meet. I can meet between these hours. Park, coffee shop. Park if it's nice outside. It's like 2 months in Canada. I still remember my fiance showing up at the park. I bring my own coffee. I don't need his coffee. Who knows? I'd never take a coffee from a guy who's been waiting with coffee, obviously. But I just remember, like, you know, when he saw me, he was like, you know, I could tell in his eyes. I still kept it, like, I really liked him, but I kept it to 20 minutes because I told him it would be 20 minutes. I was coming from the office and I was like, we're just gonna walk around just to see if we match our profiles. If I'm the person that you thought based on my profile, and if you're the person that, you know, you look the same, you're not 20 years older than you said you are, etc. And if we are, then, you know, I guess you can ask me out and see how it goes or whatever. We'll go on a date later on. And so he contacted me. So the point with this dating apps is for you to meet people. And don't have expectations when you meet people. They're just a person who exists. It's just another person who exists. Okay, I had guys show up telling me, like, I'm 5'9", saying they're 5'10". They show up, they're 5'5". I have no expectation, you know? I'm like, I can make a 20-minute conversation with anyone. I wouldn't walk away because it's not my style. I'd be like, so, you know, okay, I gotta go. It's been 20 minutes. Take care. I have my own car, obviously. He doesn't know where I live, obviously. So use some common sense around your dating process and you won't be disappointed. It's just a numbers game. Let's see. Are you still on holiday? Well, we're actually both working out of here. So my idea was like, I'm going to spend 5 weeks outside of Canada in the worst of winter when it's the worst in Canada. So it's not really holiday, right? We took 2 weeks off, but the rest, like, we're both working. But it's different working as, I have 10-minute break, I'm gonna go in the pool. Or it's just brutal in Canada. It was like minus 20 degrees for 2 weeks while we were away. But we have to get back, right? Because he can't be away. I could stay longer, but he can't. And honestly, like, my kid couldn't stay either because of school and stuff. I don't like online apps and I'm trying to go out more. Yeah, well, listen, the problem with going out more is not, people don't really approach like they did in the 90s or the 80s or the 70s. You know, they don't really talk to each other anymore, right? Everybody, you're out, everybody's on their phone or with their group of friends. So I don't really know. Depends how old you are too. Will you be able to make a video where you describe the specific types of manifestors? You know, that's not a bad idea. Let me write it down. Specific types of manifestors. All right, so I want to take one more. Okay. This has more to do, again, with relationships. So she says, dear Mona, this is my new vision board. I'd love for you to agree to this. English here is not her, thank you. English here is not her first language, so I will try to paraphrase as much as possible. She's saying, I have made certain changes to it, and then she's saying something that she put the wedding on her vision board, but marriage is only important for her if she finds the right person. And she's been talking to this guy for 7 months, to this one guy for 7 months, talking like as in, you know, like dating him. So then she's saying, with that said, what my SB said to me out of his own fears, he said he has no thoughts of settling down. This was after his uncle asked her, what is your intention in life, right? So she's saying, I try to not bring up the marriage thing, but his uncle was insistent on where I see myself in my life. So she's saying, I only told the uncle just to get him off my case, just to show I'm serious. Though this is true for my long-term goal that she wants to get married, it's not something that I will do unless I know it's right for me, of course, just like it's normal to be. I won't say yes to the first person, etc. So what happened is the uncle told the man, and the man told her, hey, listen, I have no thoughts of settling down. And she's saying, I can't control this whole mess that has happened and the gossip, and that wasn't even anything to do with me, but somehow off topic with the old man's conversation. So she's saying the old man ruined her relationship. He's saying, we literally spent our time together for the last 7 months, made plans to spend holiday time together, only for his uncle to meet with him and speak about this. And I am now hearing, let's see, I just have to read this carefully again. It's not written in proper English, which is okay because she's not English. She's saying, regardless, it has happened. I can't control or change it. nor can I change my SP reaction. He basically stopped being caring and spoke to me like a stranger. I felt hurt, therefore I removed his access to me for 3 weeks. But in hindsight, I should have a conversation with him about this ridiculous scenario and about where we both are. So this is a longer email, but this is the essence of it. So here's what I would say to this queen and to everybody. You've been dating a guy for 7 months. I told you cannot date men for 4 years before you know what their intentions are. Men do not need more time to figure out whether or not, they might need a bit more time to figure out whether or not they'll marry you, but they don't need more time to figure out whether they're not going to marry you. You want me to say that again? So after 7 months of being with him, if you had a conversation with his uncle, or you dropped a hint, or it doesn't matter that the uncle pried this out of you, and the uncle told him, and the next step that happened is your SP coming up to you and say, I have no intention of settling down. Guys, you know I give you just the honest truth. That means I have no intention of settling down with you, even though I know you for 7 months. And so far, what I've determined is that I have no intention to settle down with you. Right? So it's not pleasant to hear this. It's not pleasant to hear it from him. It's not pleasant to hear it from me. But I care so much about women in general, and I see so many women making such a mistake with, like, I'm a businesswoman, right? So I always think investment. Investing their biggest asset in men who clearly tell them the return on this investment is 0. Your biggest asset is your time. The man tells you, park your time with me, but just understand the investment, the return on your investment will be 0. No, will not be 0, sorry. Will be negative. Will be negative. That's like putting money in crypto, you know? I put 10 grand in crypto, now it's worth 3 grand. It's like that. It's like that because the investment is negative. You're actually losing assets, losing your time, wasting your time. So for you to think that after 3 weeks that you removed his access to you, and he hasn't shown up on your door with flowers saying, my God, I was crazy to say that to you. I'm so sorry. I needed more time to think about, and you know, like, I'm not ready to settle down now. That's what I meant. I really love you. So he hasn't done that. Okay? He's not saying I need 2 more years. He's just cold. You removed your access, and now you in retrospect are thinking, maybe I should have a conversation with him about this ridiculous situation. It only came up because his uncle asked. Yeah, but that doesn't change. It doesn't change the fact that he has 0 intention to marry you. And you're saying this might not be important now, okay, but in 2 years that intention will not change. You keep investing into, it's like if I bought more crypto, you know, it's like that, to mitigate my 7 grand loss. I need to put more. Yeah, you gotta look, all these queens on this live, if you're not watching this now, but if you'll watch it on YouTube, all the queens on this live are telling you to move on. Time to move on. Someone way better will come along for her. Well, it's good that she knows it now, okay? So no, I disagree with your intention to have a discussion with him and tell you how ridiculous this is, that it's only because his uncle is mentioning that. If this man loved you, if he doesn't love you after 7 months, he won't love you, okay? That's just to be very, very clear, guys. No guy who has been sleeping with you for 7 months, if he doesn't love you already, he's not gonna fall in love with you year 2 on your 2nd anniversary. Yeah, we're all clear on that. Yeah? So, where was I? Because I saw this important question. Can she manifest changes? You mean changes in him? At this point, I would say it's a little late to manifest changes, because the way this relationship unfolded for the last 7 months, I guarantee you there was instances where she didn't stay true to herself, because she's been all this time with this man who doesn't love her, right? So I'm sure she's made compromises in his behavior already. Remember, when you invest in a man, your most precious asset, which is your time, the return has to come back to you. Unless the return is money, you're really, really trying to marry this millionaire, you'll accept any behavior because you know you're going to divorce him 2 years later and take half his money. Unless your return on investment you already planned. It's very financial, okay? And then you're putting up with shit because you're going to get like $5 million in the end, okay? If it's not that, in most cases it's not that. If it's not that, your investment in him has to match the ROI, business term for return on investment, that you get on a daily and weekly basis. Of course, everybody can have a bad day, but your relationship should not have a bad week. Okay, his conflict resolution, the way he treats you, the way he should be desperate about losing you. Okay, 3 weeks, you removed his access, and now you're thinking, maybe I should be talking to him about how ridiculous this is. No, this is the inspired action from the universe. The ankle was an orchestration by the universe to show you where this man is in terms of his feelings for you. And if you're not taking that input from the universe, then you cannot expect the output to be good at the end. Okay? A new player is introduced in this game, the uncle, to probe you. What are your intentions? Okay, you're saying if he never probed you, this man would have used you for 2 more years, right? Still not intending to marry you. That's what I'm going to have to say. It's hard. I'm sorry, because I don't want to hurt any of my queens. That's not my intention. But my intention when I see damage there is to minimize, to just stop bleeding time, resources. Stop bleeding there. The uncle was a blessing. I agree. What about growing in love? That's possible. And the relationships, there is the relationships, a relationship's longevity is only there if 2 people stagnate together or they grow together. A relationship will fall apart if only one of the people grows as a person in the relationship. It will fall apart in 10 years, in 5 years, in 25 years. So you see these couples, like 30 years, they're like done. They're like, what do you mean you're done? You've been together 30 years. Well, yeah, you're done because one person has moved to another level. The other person is still the same person they met 30 years ago. Let's see. Guys, don't be scared of the changes that are coming, the bridge of incidents, the changes. Just let people do whatever they want to do. And if you want to change something in their behavior, the next person's behavior, bring it back to yourself. What is it in my thinking process that got me to invest 7 months in a man who after 7 months, I'm finding out, rather than talking to me about it, he's willing to let the whole thing go and start acting like a stranger when I mentioned, yeah, one day I want to get married. What error in my thinking brought me to accept this man? That means that man never showed any desperation in his love for me, never showed that he would go above and beyond for me. That means, like, why have I accepted that, right? Bring this whole analysis back to yourself. Yeah, the changes are scary, but they're working to your benefit. If you can observe some changes that in the past you thought were scary, but now you realize they took you to the next step, like I give the example about the job loss or business partnership loss or divorce, or then you'll know. Then you'll have less fear, because you'll understand, hey, yeah, the way it happened then, that's what's happening now. Amanda says, queens, make sure the man is providing something substantial before entering any commitment. Yeah. And she literally manifested the uncle. Remember, men don't invest their time in their, like, the way, even if they're exclusive with you, their time doesn't matter. Because if they have their lives together and their financials together, they can get anyone at any age, and they don't have any pressure, right? So it's not if it's investment on you, even if it's money, it depends how easy he makes that money. That's why I said a millionaire who doesn't commit to you. I'll tell you guys the summary of a crazy story of a family friend of mine who went to study in Italy when she was like 22. And when she was 24, she met a count, like the title, count. She was 24, this guy was 55. He was a widower. And what happened is, I remember talking to her then, And I said, well, but he's so old. What are you doing? I was younger than her at the time. And, she was kind of somebody I would look up to. And she says, well, no, but now I can, enjoy all these good things. And, I live in his penthouse. And he didn't live there. He had several properties, but he lived with his family, not minus his wife was dead, but with his children and stuff. So he put her, she was a kept woman. And so she's like, I'm going to do this until I finish school. After she finished school, she did another degree, because what else is there to do? Then, she was basically his companion. And around 36, 37, she kind of woke up and went like, wait a second. She had a conversation with him. She goes like, if you die, by this time he was like, I don't know, 68. If you die, what's going to happen to me? And you know what he said to her? He said, our agreement was I take care of you while I'm alive. I can't put you in my will. I'm a count. I'm like, my family is, it's like we have a different status in the society than you. Kind of, I don't know if he said it nicely or not, but basically, she's going to get zero. So then she broke up with him. And she went through a lot, like mentally, psychologically, because she realized she had wasted between 24 and 37. Being pampered, he gave her, I don't know, 5,000 euros a month allowance. Luckily, she invested in some properties she had back home or something like that. But anyways, she didn't want to leave her lifestyle. She had an apartment in like a penthouse in Milan, right? So she met somebody her own age. And she tried a relationship. This is the craziest story that I know the woman personally. She tried a relationship. And of course, when you haven't been dating since your 20s and you're now like 37, 38, you meet a guy who's like 37, 38, 39. He lives modestly, like on a salary. You don't work. All the love and passion that you feel will last like a few seconds, right? Because you're not going to be happy. Now, it was just a mess. So 9 months and that was done. She had to come back to the count. In a way, I don't know what they talked about, but in my thinking, it's like begging him to take her back. He took her back. But he made no efforts in between to get her. He is a very strong, grounded man. A user, really, but he said our agreement was clear. And so she's back. She's in her early 40s now, no kids, no marriage. He still pays for her lifestyle, and I'm not really sure what's going to happen to her. I'm not really sure. I'm hoping she's saving all of her allowance, and because she can't, right? She has like 2 degrees. She's never worked. She's not employable. She doesn't want to work. You can't get used to 9 to 5 when you're 45 years old. Like it's just, so that's what I want you guys to. I went a little bit over because I want to tell you this. Even if a guy is investing money in you, if he has an immense amount of money, that doesn't mean anything unless you have access to actual permanent resources. Okay, do not be fooled into, oh, he bought me this $3,000 bag. Yeah, but if he has $30 million, that doesn't mean anything. I want you to be careful. You're investing your most valuable asset, your time. Don't give it away for no commitment, guys. His commitment is actually the most important thing. All right, let's put our hands together. For the 369, I'm a winner. I always end with this. All of my lives are posted on YouTube. I'll be back next Monday at the same time, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And between now and then, if you have questions, you can email me. You should do our 60-day challenge that's in my bio. Be part of our Facebook group. Email me if I find that your question is pertinent to everyone. I'll take it up. Otherwise, I won't be able to respond unless you're working with me. So let's put our hands together. One breath. I am a winner. 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 I am a winner.